We're built as the fastest game of foot. I love the running gun.
Keep your eyes on the ball. I hope to lead this 1997 Syracuse lacrosse team back to Memorial Day.
We don't have a lot of heroes in this game. The dynasty keeps on going.
Super Sports presents NCAA Lacrosse. Today in the Carrier Dome, the Syracuse Orangemen, ranked second in the country, take on the Brown Bears, rated 18th. The Orange 4-1. The Bears come to the Dome 2-3. Welcome everyone to Super Sports presentation of Syracuse University Lacrosse, along with Dale Dreipolcher. I'm Ted DeLuca, and Dale, ever since that loss earlier this season to Georgetown, the Orangemen have been on fire.
They certainly have, and this is not going to be an easy game, however, because Brown really gives them a tough time. They got a good goaltender, they got some good personnel, and they're not going to run with Syracuse when they get a chance. So this is not going to be an easy game for Syracuse, but they certainly should come out on top.
Tempo will be a huge key today. Brown head coach Peter Lasagna knows if his Bears have any chance of beating the Orangemen, they must control the tempo today.
I think that if Coach Simmons and the Orangemen have it their way, it's up and down and wide open. And I think that if I have it my way and our players have it our way, we are winning faceoffs and controlling the ball and running selectively. When it works for us, then push the numbers. When it doesn't, pull it out and be intelligent. Everybody in the lacrosse world has seen the tape of the Virginia-Syracuse game, and it makes you want to faint.
Syracuse head coach Roy Simmons Jr. has won 6 NCAA titles, and Slugger knows if Brown is going to beat the Orangemen today, Syracuse can try to control the tempo.
Well, I think they don't have any choice but to play it straight up. Nothing about taking the air out of the ball. I think they have to come right at us. They have some offensive clout also. They can shoot the ball. They can generate some goals. I think they get up and down the field with us. They always have. I think it's the nature of the beast. They want to run. And I think Coach Lasagna will let him run.
In order for Brown to keep Syracuse from putting a lot of points on the scoreboard today, their goaltender has to play extremely well.
Well, Cattrano, Greg Cattrano is the goalie, and he's excellent. And you talk to anybody, the left-handed guy, you're going to see him right here. Great reaction time. Both Syracuse coaches and Brown coaches say, this guy's a second-team All-American last year. He's back. He's better than he was last year. And this is the kind of guy that if he's hot, he can give Syracuse some problems. So let's watch for the goaltender and have a good game for Brown.
Now, as far as the Orange's offense is concerned, guys like Casey Powell and Rob Kavovit get a lot of ink, but Dougie Jackson is sneaky quick.
Well, he's got 15 goals and 5 assists, but the thing I like best about him is he's the guy that's going to pick up a key ground ball. He's going to be back there backing up and getting another shot. He's just very, very tough, and he does whatever they need. And Doug Jackson's a guy that's a real key today for Syracuse. Syracuse
getting set to face off against Brown here in the Carrier Dome. After this quick timeout, we'll bring you the starting lineups and opening face-off as well. Welcome back to the beautiful Carrier Dome on the Syracuse campus. Let's meet the starting lineups for both teams. First, for the visiting Brown Bears. On attack, it's Selig, Frood, Lyle at midfield, Collar, Dent, and Banerjee. The close defense, Knish, Butolf, Deer, and in goal, it's Cattrano. Head coach for the Brown Bears is Peter Lasagna, now in his 5th season, 42-23 at Brown. Now for the Syracuse Orangemen, ranked 2nd in the nation, the starting lineup. On attack, it's Kavovit, Casey Powell, and Doug Jackson, Ryan Powell, Clark, and Kataya the middies. Close defense, Rule, McCartan, and Volen, Gebhardt in goal. And of course, the head coach of the Syracuse Orangemen, now in his 27th season, Roy Simmons Jr. with 6 NCAA titles to his credit. This matchup between Syracuse and Brown, the 10th between the two schools, and as you can see, the Orangemen have dominated, including last season's overtime victory in Providence, Rhode Island. Today's officials, Terrence Cullen, the referee. The umpire is Bill Ellis. The field judge, Bruce T. And the bench official is Paul Stockwell. In goal for the Orangemen, Jason Gebhardt getting set to backstop the Orangemen today. He's had a tremendous season, Dale.
He really has, and he's the guy the defense said that they felt very confident. They're just getting used to playing as a unit, and they said when he's back there, it makes us feel a lot better. So look for a good game for the defense, and that man, Jason Gebhardt, as we go to the faceoff.
And the faceoff at midfield is won by the Brown Bears. They move right to left here in quarter number 1. in the brown uniforms with the white numbers and the red shorts. Syracuse, of course, in the home whites, trimmed in orange and blue. And as we can see from the early going, Dale, Brown very deliberate once they advance the ball.
They're certainly not going to waste their shots. They want to take a good shot. They're getting some people on. They just ran a sub in. Number 10 getting in there is Dent, so he's going to take a shot right away.
Dent winds and shoots. Ball wide of the cage. Matthew Dent, the senior from Baltimore.
Takes a hop step, gets a good shot off, but not really on the cage.
The Bears track it down, so they retain possession in the offensive end. Syracuse matching up man-to-man with Brown.
Get a good look there at the movement on the crease, and they kind of in isolation way out on the right-hand side.
Here comes Banerjee for a quick shot. Gebhardt pokes it away. Brown tries to track it down.
He's going to get official time. They're going to get some, Syracuse getting some people in. Gebhardt talking to his defense there. He didn't like the lineup. Syracuse gets in Cummings, number 7, play short stick defense.
So Brown's possession continues after tracking down the ground ball behind the cage. The Bears very deliberate after collecting the opening faceoff. Syracuse's close defense much improved as the season's gone along. McCartan doing some nice checking. Ball pops loose. Syracuse the ground ball. The Orange men will try to clear. Brown very aggressive. Ball loose on the turf. Rolls out of bounds. It will be Brown ball.
Yes. Very wisely just screened off Syracuse player as the ball went over the sideline, and Brown will get possession. And you know, you talked about the tempo, and we had a little sound cut from the coaches there talking a little bit about tempo, and when you win the face-off you can do what you want, and that's exactly what Brown's doing, just kind of taking their time. They've taken a couple of shots, but they've gotten back up to them being very patient.
And that's the strategy Peter Lasagna wants to use, talking to his players down on the dome turf. Just underway first quarter, no score between Syracuse and Brown, two top 20 teams battling in the dome today. Syracuse at number 2. Brown comes in ranked 18th, and once again the Bears work it around the perimeter before getting off a shot.
Syracuse using the zone defense now, a little bit different for them. They've used them in the past occasionally, but a little bit of a different look right now for Syracuse. You get a good look at it from that high end zone camera. The idea, of course, keep the sticks up, knock down the passing lanes, but don't overcommit on anyone, and just keep sliding and play not body position, but field position.
And it looks a lot like a 2-3 zone that Jim Boeheim might employ with the basketball team, to stay in a general area and force the action outside.
That's right, and if you can take the shot from out there, well, you know, God love you, as Mac used to say, but oh, there's a slash right there.
That will go against Chris McCartan. The Bears trying to complete the play. Syracuse obviously trying to poke it loose.
Now they can't relax now. They want to keep him from getting a shot off. Ooh. Nice
centering feed. Shot and a score for Brown. The Bears are on the board. Scoring for the Brown Bears, Rob Lyle.
Number 33. And you're going to get a nice look at it. He just rips the net. They had picked somebody off, and watch what happens to Gebhardt. Watch Gebhardt. Whoa, by the time he reacts, gets his stick up, the ball is by him, and that was just a point-blank shot. A great shot by Lyle. There's his season look, 10 goals, 4 assists, first in the game, and not only that, Syracuse is going to be down a man, so they gave up a goal. It was a personal foul, so they will be down a man for a minute.
Chris McCartan is called for the slash. Lyle able to connect on Brown's third shot of the game. Chris McCartan down on the Syracuse sideline after committing that penalty. Brown won the opening faceoff. Faceoff number 2 set to be dropped at midfield with the Orange men trailing 1-0 after the goal by Lyle.
That's a real important faceoff for Syracuse. They could come up with this. They could run some time off the clock, but they're outmanned. They give it up.
On the season, Brown is 7 of 19 in man-up situations, Dale, and that's what Syracuse faces right now.
It's again the zone defense, only they're down a man. Try to knock down the ball in the passing lanes. Don't let them get a clean shot off, but obviously there's a lot more room out there with one white jersey sitting in the penalty box.
This should be interesting for the next 30 seconds. That's the amount of time remaining before the penalty is released. Brown works the ball around the perimeter. Josh Rule pushing Lyle outside. Now it goes top of the box again. Down to 15 seconds left to go on the Syracuse penalty. Bears need to shoot pretty soon. Down to 5 seconds. There's a quick shot. Rolls out of bounds, wide of the cage. Brown there to track it down behind the goal.
One shot in 55 seconds is the way I track it. They still got 5 seconds left on this man up. Let's see what they do.
They need to hurry. Syracuse yet to get a shot off. It's 4-0 Brown.
They're even now. This is the most dangerous time of the penalty because now you got to go pick up and somebody invariably gets loose. But Syracuse has killed off the penalty and they picked up their men, so they're back to a little man-to-man.
Ryan Powell applying some man-to-man defense for the Orangemen. The freshman, older brother Casey, wearing legendary number 22 for Syracuse, having a tremendous season. And this is exactly the type of game that Brown wants to play, Dale. They want to keep the ball away from Syracuse's offense.
Right now, you're right. Cummings with number 7 with a short stick, a little bit of a disadvantage, but he is speedy, and that's what his job is to harass whoever's got the ball, and that's what he just did. Hard to see these numbers, Ted. Sometimes we've been talking all year, the New Jerseys for Syracuse, hard look.
They remind me of the Connecticut basketball numerals, which are also tough to spot from up here. There was a bouncer wide of the net rolling out of bounds. Brown there to back it up again. That shot heaved by Matthew Dent, and Brown will trigger from behind the Syracuse net, leading 1-0.
Duick, 29, was there, and now he is going to trigger it in, and Syracuse once again in the man-to-man look, what they're traditionally in.
Duick brings it near side, now advances in front of the net, winds high, far above the Syracuse cage, bouncing in the stands. Brown there to track it down behind the goal, though. And the Bears just refuse to let Syracuse have the ball.
Well, you're right. It's almost 5 minutes gone. Syracuse has yet to take a shot on the cage, and the Bears have kept the ball, and with a penalty have really dominated the action.
Dent trying to work his way free for a shot. He shoots and he scores. It's quickly 2-0 Brown as Dent broke free of the Syracuse defense and put it past Gebhardt.
Yeah, Dent made a nice move. I think it's Ackerman, 26, that he's on. There's the wrap check. Yeah, well, it was the slide. It was Ackerman was the last guy over there. It was Alexander that he actually beat, and he just got himself right in front, got away from a wrap check, and Gebhardt couldn't stop it. And Dent comes up with the second goal for Brown.
His second goal of the season. Syracuse now nearly 0 for 3 on faceoffs, a whistle at midfield. Both players battling for the ball. It'll be an illegal procedure call against Syracuse. So once again, the Brown Bears get the ball off the faceoff, and Roy Simmons Jr. is not pleased.
Somebody over a restraining line too fast, and you give up the faceoff. That's just as good as winning it. 3-0 in the faceoff department for Brown.
Syracuse yet to have a shot on goal here in the first quarter. Brown already leads it 2-0. The Bears very patient in the offensive end. Now, if you're Syracuse's defense, Dale, how do you fight this? How do you get the ball?
Well, they do not play takeaway defense. They had guys in the past who could do that. What you got to do now is just play good body position and hope your goalie can do just what they did there. Make a save, and let's start the fast break the other way and play some Syracuse lacrosse.
Terrific save by Gebhardt, and that shot by Brown. Here come the Orangemen. Syracuse setting up offensively now. The Brown defense getting back quickly. They understand just how strong Syracuse's offense is.
Yeah, that's going to be 30 seconds against Brown. They were offside. Syracuse will now get a man-up opportunity, and really the first opportunity they've had the ball in Brown territory, Ted, and they're going to be man-up for 30 seconds.
We'll see if Syracuse can capitalize on the man-up situation.
Here's where you can get frustrated also, because you got this goalie like Cattrano, who is so good, left-handed goalie, and he's the kind of guy who comes up with a big save, and your confidence starts to ebb a little bit when you're in 6 minutes into the game and really haven't gotten a shot off.
Man-up situation for the Orangemen. Syracuse 37% on the season, 11 of 30. Ball is loose behind the net. Syracuse there to track it down. The Orangemen trigger. 20 seconds left on the man-up. The Orange working around the box. Centering pass just beyond the reach of the cutter toward the Syracuse goal, but it's tracked down by the Orangemen. Brown out shooting Syracuse 8-1 in the first quarter.
Casey Powell, he's going to get double coverage every time they can. They'll jump him.
Shot tipped away by the goaltender.
Penalties up. And he's a very active goaltender, Ted. He comes out, does a lot of crazy things.
Cattrano, no nonsense, brings it over midfield. Syracuse fighting for the ball, and he is buried, knocked out of bounds. That gets the Carrier Dome crowd up on its feet. Cattrano pops up as well, but that incites the crowd.
Yeah, it does, and you know, he went just a little too far. He probably should have made the pass. They had him on the sideline, and I give him credit, he hustled. And they said, in talking to the Syracuse coaches, they said the guy's aggressive, he's tough, and he just showed us right there why they call him that.
Matt Kataya puts the check on Cattrano, knocking him out of bounds. Syracuse has the ball. The Orange down 2-0. Both teams at even strength. 7:50 left to go in the first quarter. The Orange now showing some patience on the offensive end.
Second midfield group in, Vanderpool and Coyote, 16 and 44.
Coyote's easy to spot with that long ponytail.
Yep.
Trailing from the back of his helmet.
A little bit of an isolation out here with Powell. I can't believe that they're going to be in the crease. That's going to be Brown ball. He contends he was pushed, so does the crowd.
And we'll take a look at the replay, see if Casey Powell is indeed shot.
Oh, absolutely, that was a push from behind. Beatson, 41, pushed him from behind, and that's a real tough call. So now a penalty down again against Syracuse. Delayed call, we'll see what it is.
Seems like whenever Syracuse plays an Ivy League school, this is how the games start. The Orangemen have a tough time getting going early on, but once they start to fire on all cylinders, they don't look back.
Right. Substitution, 30-second technical.
Illegal substitution, 30-second technical.
Yeah. Flag down on the field. Was waiting for you to jump in there.
I believe that's Mr. Cullen, one of the officials. Worked with these guys years ago. I used to officiate the same good crew they always have, but that last call, I think Syracuse was a little upset about because he was pushed from behind, but it makes no difference. It's going to happen in a game that is this fast, and you're right back into it. Syracuse man down.
Brown is 0 for 1 on the man-up situations. Their second power play, if you will. Quick shot, wide of the goal. It'll be Syracuse ball. As the Brown Bears got a shot from Jed Dewick that went wide. Syracuse there to track it down behind the net, so the Orangemen will trigger in their own end.
Yeah, now this should be double team the ball because Syracuse is a man down, and they're just going to run it over. Great clear. No problem there for Syracuse. In the old days, before they changed the rules, you get in the box and release the man, but they don't do that anymore, so you have to continue playing a man down, so they should double the man with the ball.
Vanderpool checks into the game quickly. So Syracuse back at full strength.
Poor pass.
Rolling toward midfield. Who's going to get it? Popped in by Syracuse, loose on the turf. Get an offsides call. It'll be Syracuse ball.
Brown stepped on the line, and that's as good as being over it. So Ira Vanderpool will get the ball at the midfield line.
Vanderpool triggers for the Orangemen. Syracuse trailing 2-0 here in the first quarter. The Brown Bears out of the Ivy League taking Syracuse out of its game here in the first quarter, but a lot of lacrosse left to play here in the Carrier Dome.
I mean, you don't get that many shots off like Syracuse has it, and you have a great goalie like Cattrano. It can get frustrating, and they've got to be patient. There's a lot of game left, but there's 6 minutes left in the quarter, 9 gone, and they have not really put a real tough shot on Cattrano.
Quick shot for the Orangemen and a score. Paul Carcaterra makes it 2-1.
That must be psychic. Just as I said, they haven't really put a tough shot on him. Carcaterra fired from the front left side of the goal, and Cattrano didn't even have a chance. By the time he reacted, the ball was behind him, so the left-handed goalie not able to stop Carcaterra, and Syracuse 2-1 now.
5th goal of the season for Paul Carcaterra, one of the Orange's co-captains. Could not have come at a better time. The Orangemen on the board. Brown has controlled the face-off circle 3-0. This one's loose at midfield. The Orangemen trying to track it down. It's tapped.
Should have been a push call, I think.
We'll see what they decide. Holding is the call.
Same thing.
Against Brown.
Yeah. They just took the face-off man and pushed him right into the turf. And as I said, you'll take a face-off on a penalty. They all count. You still get the ball.
So the Orangemen reset the offense. Now down 2-1. Rob Kavovic controls behind the goal for the Orangemen. Now Syracuse will play catch, top of the box. Checking in is Clark. First action he's seen today. Clark moves around the screen, then sends it behind the goal now. Pass in front, intended for Jackson, knocked away, tracked down nicely by Ryan Powell. Casey feeds a cutter. Shot, knocked aside.
Good reaction time by the goalie there. Cattrano, nice job. Syracuse, however, gets the ball. Kavovit behind. Setting up a play.
Let's see what the Orangemen come up with. Ryan Powell waiting top of the box. Shot goes wide of the net. Syracuse is there to track it down again. One of the Brown players behind the goal, that's Kesmodel, is pretty upset that Brown didn't get possession, but Syracuse will keep it.
Well, you know, it's hard to see the out-of-bounds line back there, Ted, and it looked like it was a good call to me, but of course, if you're from Brown, you're not going to agree.
Syracuse starting to even things up with the shots. There's another one high over the net, and Brown is there to track it down. Kesmodel once again behind the net, so Brown takes possession. Syracuse comes away empty-handed that possession.
Kesmodel did do a good job, and now Brown's going to clear. Force the long pass is the motto of the riding team, and they get it across easily.
Here comes Banerjee angling in. Will he shoot? Winds up and scores! What an effort by Banerjee. He took it himself, called his own number, and makes it 3-1 Brown.
Abrams, 43. Watch his stick come up just a little late. And the left-handed shot by Banerjee gives him another goal. Just a little bit late on trying to get stick on stick. The defender could not do it, and Gebhardt not able to track that one down. And he wasn't screened. He just couldn't stop the shot. So Banerjee gives Brown a 2-goal lead again with 4:32 left first quarter.
That's his 6th goal of the season. Brown controlling the face-off circle, 3-1. The Orangemen fighting for possession with the Bears at midfield. Ball rolls loose. Syracuse gets it, but we have a whistle.
Going to call a push. So Ackerman has to give it up, and Brown will pick it up. But they won't get a free clear, so they're going to have to move him behind the restraining line.
Syracuse has had problems in the face-offs as the season has continued. While Brown knows the key to controlling the tempo against the Orangemen in the Dome today will be winning those face-offs. They've done a good job so far, and they lead it 3-1.
In previous games, Syracuse has done a little more crashing and getting people in from the wings and putting the ball back on the carpet after they lose the initial draw on the face-off. Let's see if they perhaps do a little bit more of that, as they have not been really successful. They've gotten a couple via the penalty route, but right now Brown's controlling.
Making a move in front for the Bears. Ball pops loose out of Banerjee's cross. Quick shot on goal by the Bears, and Lyle goes high, but Brown tracks it down behind the net, so the Bears keep it. The Bears now starting the offensive set. There's a shot that rolls wide. Syracuse tracks it down behind the goal. Nice hustle by the Orangemen.
Casey Powell, I think, 22, yep. 24, Coleman took a big sweep shot. It wasn't on him. Powell got out, got the ball, was there when it went out of bounds.
Gebhardt begins the clear from his own net. Risky pass to midfield. Taken by Sharrets. And he heads into the box with a right-hand cradle, looking to make a move. Ball knocked free from behind. Syracuse tracks it down as Jackson scoops it up behind the cage.
Nice check by Sellers, 19 for Brown. And now I think you're going to see a little zone defense look from Brown.
Coyote feeds far side of the field. Syracuse working the ball around the perimeter on the offensive possession here. Trailing 3-1 with less than 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Now it's for Carcaterra near side. Ryan Powell heads behind the net with a right-hand cradle. He's popped a couple of times. Ball pops loose. Rolling on the turf. Vanderpool missed it. Brown comes up with the ground ball on the far side.
That's
nice
just a long
pass.
yeah.
He was on his way out of bounds.
Syracuse didn't touch it. That should be their ball.
And it will be. Good call, Dale.
That was just a poor pass to start things off, and then Vanderpool, they tried to knock him out of bounds, but he just made a leaping long pass. Syracuse couldn't get a stick on it. Going to get it back, but they have to clear it. And they get some offensive players in.
Might seem hard to believe. 2:25 left to go in the first. Syracuse with 1 goal. Brown Bears lead the Orangemen 3-1. Syracuse on the clear. The Orange men heading into this game averaging more than 15 goals per contest on the season, off to a slow start today as Brown has controlled the tempo. Andy Sharretts brings it in. Sends it near side for Doug Jackson. The Orange work the ball around the Brown net. Now Cattrano controls far side of the field. Ryan Powell waits top of the box. He's wide open. Cattrano trying to make a move on his man. Can't do it. Double team. Ryan Powell. Syracuse still can't get a shot off. Back for Ryan Powell. He wants to shoot. Casey Powell has it now. Powell trying to break free. He's smacked. Flag is down.
Yeah, if you see a replay on this, it's a necktie party, and he was the sole invitee. You're gonna see it. Watch what happens. I think it's is it Sowers? Or,
Hello.
Buttolph. Yeah, Buttolph. Yeah. let me just see if I can stretch your neck. And Buttolph, the local kid, is going to be down for 30 from Central New York. A Skinny Atlas, I believe.
Yes, sir. The 6'3" sophomore.
That's a big kid, isn't it? And, you know, I was just going to say, Brown is playing great team defense. They shift, they jump. It's a good unit. I've been impressed with their defense so far in this quarter.
Syracuse 0 for 1 in the man-up situations. They have another here for 30 seconds as we head toward the end of quarter number 1. The Orange working around. Casey Powell sends it back outside. Carcaterra gets rid of it. Casey Powell can't collect the centering pass, tapped away by Brown, so Syracuse will keep possession of the offensive end. 12 seconds left to go on the man-up.
You want to take your time on this, even though there's only 12 seconds. By the time somebody runs in, you've actually probably got closer to 20, so not time to panic, but you want to get the man open.
The Orange thinking about a shot. Centering pass, shot, nice save. Doug Jackson with the shot. Cattrano equal to the task. Brown on the clear. Less than a minute to go, first quarter. Terrific pass to midfield. Here come the Bears. Spinning away from the pressure. For Brown with the shot to Gebhardt, who makes the save. He stones Duke.
Oh, what a pass!
Here come the Orange men quickly downfield. Syracuse on the break. Brown gets back defensively to shut it down. Behind the back pass. Can't be controlled. It's loose in front. A whistle and a flag.
Okay, that's a push. Syracuse going to get the ball. What a pass by Gebhardt. He made the stop. It was like a quick stick, and he looped it right back out, and it was just a perfect pass. Syracuse did not cash in, but they're going to get an opportunity to have another extra man here. A little piece of laundry out there. Watch these guys. They were all over Duick, and then he took the shot, and there's the quick pop out. And who's he hit? Cattrano in full stride. And then you see the result. But right now we got to wave the flag off. What's the?
Well, it's Brown ball.
There was no flag. That was something from another universe.
Somebody was overruled down there.
Yeah.
We won't speculate whom.
Oh, it's nice they talk about it anyway. You know?
Yes. They did have to have that conversation to straighten things out. In an almost an instant replay type of deal, the Bears are back upfield. 15 seconds to go in the quarter. Syracuse with good, tight defense on this trip. 8 seconds to go in the quarter. Centering pass can't be controlled. Ball is rolling toward midfield. Who will get it? Nobody will. Into the quarter. So the Orange went off to a slow start in a very interesting first 15 minutes. Brown controlling the tempo, and that was what Peter Lasagna's Bears had to do. After the first 15 minutes, Brown leads the Orange men 3-1. Back with second quarter action right after this.
Casey Powell is the catalyst. And as he goes, it seems the other people go. He's surrounded by very talented players, but I think you have to deal with him first and try to hold Rob Cavavit and Doug Jackson and Ira Vanderpool and Ryan Powell and all the others down. They have a lot of weapons.
The Brown Bears have outscored their opponents 15-7 in the second quarter this season. We'll see how quarter number 2 unfolds. And Dale, as Peter Lasagna pointed out, one quarter down, 3 to go for the Bears. They did a great job clamping down on Syracuse in the first quarter.
Let's watch, see if Syracuse doesn't come up with some face-offs out of this. They look to be a little bit more aggressive now. It seems to happen like that. I don't know if they're going to come up with this one, but they certainly are scrapping for it. And they got it.
The Orangemen come up with the ground ball off the face-off. Quick cut. Oh, the back shot is wide. Brown tracks down the loose ball.
Unsettled.
Syracuse could be in trouble. The Orangemen have to get back defensively, and they do. Brown now will slow things down as they have for most of the game to this point and reset the offense. Syracuse with a nice idea off the faceoff, but Brown quickly regains possession and the Bears set things up. Circling behind the net is Dent. He scored in the first quarter. Ira Vanderpool checking him.
Just going to say, just to the left there, you can see all the cutters, and they're looking for somebody to pop open. They just got somebody open, but way on the outside, and now they've moved down closer, like in a low post, closer to the goal. They were out, they moved down, so they're trying to screen Syracuse's defense and, of course, Gebhard.
And the shot by Collard goes wide, but Brown is there to back up the ground ball.
Get a good look at that again, all the cuts and the picks out in front of the cage, and it's it really behooves you to play good team defense.
Brown out shooting Syracuse 14-9 on the day. The Bears very aggressive offensively in the shot department, but they've been patient as well. This is about as well as Brown can play offensively against a Syracuse team with a lot of firepower. Poke checks near side by McCartan, forcing the action outside. That's Lyle. He gets the pass away to Satin on the far side. Dent brings it behind the cage. Ira Vanderpool comes to harass him. Looking for a cutter in front. There he is. Frood with the goal, and it's 4-1 Brown. And when a local kid beats you, it hurts even more.
Frood from Jordan Elbridge takes a left-handed shot that Jackson was on him 11 on 11, and you see the jump he got, and he flipped the ball in stick side on Gebhard. You see that on the replay again. Watch the low angle and stick side, low shot. Frood, Brett Frood, Jordan Elbridge.
His 11th goal of the season. He's got some great size as well. It's 6'4", 210. He's a senior now. How quickly his career has gone by. Another face-off for Brown. It's 5-2. That ball popped loose out of Lacrosse. Nice idea by Brewer. Just couldn't complete the play. But the Bears come away with another loose ball, and Frood is the one who collects it.
Got to give Saccharin credit. He's the one that put the ball on the ground, number 9, Harvey Saccharin in. Syracuse picking up now defensively as we get some subs coming in from Brown bench.
Selig has it, now moving behind the Syracuse cage. Checked by Drew Searle of the Orangemen. Flag is down. Searle's going to get penalized, but not before the goal is scored by Satin. That makes it 5-1. A breakdown by the Orangemen.
Yeah, they got Searle in, and first thing he did was hold. Watch right there. He got a hold, got him up on the neck. So now there's a flag, but now he just rips out. They double team on the slide, and that leaves number 3 all by himself. Satin, and Mike Satin, after he moves off on the double team, gets open, and Syracuse, by the way, the penalty was wiped out, so they are full strength. So
the Orangemen don't get the double whammy.
Yeah, right. It's bad enough for them, I guess, now with a 5-1 lead for Brown.
Face-offs at midfield, controlled by Brown, 5-2. Outstanding pass by Selig as he had the stick around his neck. He was able to find the open man, Satin, who put it past Gebhard. Ball loose in midfield off the draw, taken by Casey Powell of the Orangemen. Powell wants to get something going offensively. Angling in, he has to move outside, now behind the cage, trying to set up one of his teammates in front. Nobody's there. Powell shoots, knocked away by Cattrano.
Had considerable backup there.
So the Orangemen keep it. Cattrano's played well, allowing just 1 goal to the Orangemen so far. 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter. It's 5-1. The Brown Bears out of the Ivy League on top in the Dome today. This one could be very interesting. Syracuse works it around patiently. Near side for Doug Jackson. Coyote, top of the box. Trying to move in, goes behind the screen, shoots, save Cattrano, and he keeps it. Brown on the clear. Cattrano is loose toward midfield. Now we have a whistle.
Syracuse worried about being onside. No, it's a timeout. They're going to take a timeout. They wanted to make sure that their goalie didn't get in trouble, and they took a timeout. They've got the ball cleared.
I thought it might have been an offsides call. When your goalie comes out of the net and moves that far upfield, it can be very confusing for the rest of the team.
Well, I looked over and saw only 3 people, but if they, I don't know where they were. If they did, they got it in before anybody else noticed it, so it was a good timeout call.
Excellent timeout taken by Peter Lasagna at that point. Cattrano didn't want to get in trouble. We'll show you the USILA poll for this week. Very near the top, as is customarily the case, the Syracuse Orangemen, the Princeton Tigers #1, the Orange at #2, Virginia, Duke, Maryland, Navy, Hofstra, Johns Hopkins, Georgetown, and North Carolina round out the top 10. There you see the Brown Bears in at #18 this week. But the Bears have played like a #1 team today, leading Syracuse 5-1. And Greg Cattrano has been outstanding in goal today, 5 saves. SU head coach Roy Simmons Jr. knows how tough Greg Cattrano can be.
If I don't have the best goalie in Division I, they do. Young Cattrano is giving us a fit in the past. He's consistent. He comes up with a lot more saves than he lets in. He's been seeing quite a bit of rubber this year, but he is a shining spot in that Brown team. He's a terrific goalie.
As we've seen, Dale, he is not afraid to come out of his cage either.
No, he's not. He's very active. And in talking to Syracuse coaches, they felt that Gebhardt and Cattrano, the 2 most highly recruited goalies when they were in high school.
Brown with another offensive opportunity after the timeout. The Bears lead Syracuse 5-1, heading towards 10 minutes to play in the first half. The Bears very patient offensively. If you're just joining us, this is what it's looked like for most of the game so far. There's a shot. It's actually deflected. Gebhardt is able to come up with the loose ball. Syracuse on the clear. The Orangemen work it out of their own end, trying to get some offense generated. Ball goes behind the goal. Syracuse will set up offensively.
Now, Ryan Cummings is the guy that brought it over. He's basically a defensive midi, so he's going to leave to get some more firepower in, and they're going to take their time and set up.
Ryan Powell controls. Entering for the Orangemen is Tim Glisker. Kataya has it in his cross. Moving toward the top of the box. Now he takes it well away from the goal. Trying to move in one-on-one with his man. Pass to the near side is deflected by Brown. It's loose. There's a battle for it. 2 teams scrambling for possession. Ball pops out of bounds off the Syracuse cross. It appeared, but the Orangemen will keep it, so it's off Brown.
I'll tell you who did a great job. The #4, Deere, the guy you're looking at right there. What a super job he did of keeping that ball in play, and it apparently went off a Brown stick. I didn't see it, but he did a super job of keeping that ball on the ground and keeping Syracuse away from the ground ball.
Ryan Powell triggers to Kavovit. Near side, Casey Powell. Powell moves top of the box now. Syracuse trailing 5-1. Casey trying to put a move on his man. Shoots. It's high, and it's taken by Cattrano. Brown on the clear. They've done a terrific job clearing the ball out of their own end today. Here come the Bears. Ground ball situation fairly even. Brown up 9-8 to this point. The Bears setting up the offense. Angling in is Collard. A couple of substitutions coming in for Brown. Collard being pushed away from the goal. Still moving in, showing his strength. Now he'll be double teamed. Ball pops loose. Another ground ball for the Bears. Can Coleman hang on? He does. Here come the Bears. Bounce shot wide of the net. Rolls behind the Brown cage. The Bears there to back it up as Food misfired.
I sense Syracuse getting a little bit frustrated at this point. You see the shots, 18-12. Syracuse maybe trying to push a little bit, but they look good going after that ball. They didn't get it, but you just have to come back and be patient and do the same things again.
Another offensive possession for Brown. begins with patience. The Bears control behind the cage. Moving his way in front is Coleman. Now it goes top of the box for Collard. Moving against Jackson.
Ward.
Warded off, Dougie Jackson.
The fans wanted that one a couple of minutes ago, but that was indeed a Ward, number 34, got the arm up, and Collard's going to push off. Watch right. There you go. That was real obvious. So Syracuse going to take a little timeout. I think talk things over with the 8:08 left, Ted.
This is a good timeout here for Roy Simmons Jr.'s Orangemen. They have possession. They have to get the ball out of their own end, and they have struggled offensively to this point. They trail Brown 5-1 with a lot of time left to play. 8 minutes, 8 seconds to go in the first half, and now they make it 8-10 on the scoreboard, officially noting the time of the timeout. So for the Orangemen, the Ivy League slate will continue after this game against Brown today. Up next for the Orangemen, the Cornell Big Red taking on Syracuse. You can see that game right here on Super Sports Wednesday, April 9th. Face off at 8:30 p.m. For head coach Peter Lasagna of the Brown Bears, this Syracuse game follows on the heels of a matchup with the Providence Friars.
I think the timing actually could not have been better. We were very unhappy with our performance against Loyola. Loyola played very well and really got the better of it in just about every way. And we needed a midweek game to restore our confidence.
And that certainly appears to be the case, Dale. It sometimes is terrific on the schedule to have a midweek game after a loss on the weekend.
Yeah, it lets you get right back into it early, and let's look at the clear. Syracuse 6-6. That's not a very telling statistic at this point. But Syracuse does have the ball, and it's important that they get their offense going a little bit. You know, you look at the losses. They lost to they lost at Georgetown, they lost at Hofstra and at Loyola. And, you know, look at the schedule, you'd say, gee, Syracuse should have an easy time with them, but they have really given Syracuse a difficult time so far.
Tempo has definitely been the difference. Both teams have done a good job clearing the ball, as you saw a moment ago on the graphic. Brown 8 of 10. That has been a key as well. Syracuse controls on the offensive end here, trailing 5-1. Coyote trying to move in will feed Vanderpool top of the box. Brown's close defense has been terrific.
They really have.
He spins away from his man, now feeds Coyote. He wants to shoot. Bounce shot, knocked away by Cattrano. Syracuse there to back up the play, and the Orangemen will keep possession.
You know, you make a good point. They really have done a great job of playing team defense. They've done the slides. They've double teamed when they've had to. They've just been almost flawless.
Casey Powell has it behind the goal. Sends it near side. As Kavovit takes the pass, he has no place to go with it, so he'll bring it behind the goal and try to reset the offense from there. Kavovit with a right-hand cradle, tapped by his man, not once but twice, spins away, tries to get the shot off, and he does. He's falling to the turf. Rob Kavovit with a tremendous goal. Defensive pressure all around. He scores to make it 5-2.
Just as I said that they hadn't made any mistakes, they jumped. Watch the jump. First of all, there's the wrap across the neck, but they're going to jump right here. Here's the jump. Now it's 2-on-1, but watch, he gets a one-hand shot off while he's going down. After Kanish jumped him, they double-teamed him going down. He takes the one-hand flipper shot and puts Syracuse within 3. Watch it. There's the wrap. Watch the jump by Kanish. The hit. Down I go. One-handed past Cattrano, and you could tell his head was down a little bit after that one.
19th goal of the season for Rob Kavovit. The face-off in midfield. Battle for both teams on the deck.
Withholding ball from play. That'll be Syracuse ball. Face-off man was Collard, not playing and lying on the ball, so that'll cost them possession. Syracuse that quickly gets it back.
Let's see if the Orangemen can pick up on the momentum from Kavovit's goal as he was falling to the turf, double-teamed, shoots with one hand and scores. Ryan Powell sends it behind the net. Syracuse setting up offensively as Casey Powell makes his move. He's checked a couple of times. Nearly lost his footing. Ball is loose on the turf. Long stick defender for Brown. Had it, then lost it. Another Bear takes it away. Up the near sideline. Kanish. What a hit by Casey Powell, and a flag is down.
2 flags, actually, and that's going to be interesting to see. I know he got wrapped. There's going to be a hold. Maybe it's the same penalty. Watch. All right, that's a good hit, but now we come up, and I believe it's Casey Powell is going to wrap him around the head, and that's going to be a hold. Almost got him. You know, actually, had he not touched him on the head, it would have been a great check. As it is, it's going to cost him 30.
30-second holding call against Casey Powell. Man-up situation here for the Brown Bears. Syracuse showing some frustration as we head toward halftime. Man-up situations for Brown, 0 of 2 on the day, so Syracuse has killed the penalties so far.
They have done a good job doing that. You're absolutely right, Ted.
Here come the Bears again, leading Syracuse 5-2. Frood sends it behind the goal to Selig. Near side, Satin back for Frood. Centering pass in front, can't be controlled. Ground ball taken by Brown. Bounce shot, hit the top of the crossbar, then bounce free. Syracuse has the ground ball. There's a Brown player down in the cage. We have a whistle, and if there's a call, it goes against Syracuse.
Yes, it's an illegal push. And you're right, there was somebody from Brown in the crease, but he was pushed in illegally. There's the shot. Watch, he's going to hit the pipe. Bang, back down. Now he's going to cover it, and it's Duick, 29, that right there, who was doing the tightrope before somebody barreled him from the back and knocked him into the crease. So it will be no penalty, and it's even up.
Devin Ackerman gave him a shot on the head before he knocked him down, too. One for good measure.
That's right.
The Bears have the ball in the offensive end. Their offense has been tremendous in this game, keeping the ball away from Syracuse. 3 calls against the Orange for a total of 2. Brown hit twice for 1 minute. We are heading toward 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Syracuse having all it can handle. With Brown today, it's 5-2 Bears. And Brown looking for more. Syracuse applying the defensive pressure. The Bears' passing has been strong in the offensive end too, Dale.
You're absolutely right, Ted. They have not made any errant passes. Some of the teams that come in, they force poor passes, and that's not been the case with Brown.
Syracuse having a tough time getting the ball away from the Bears.
As we said, they're not a takeaway defense. They play great body position, and they're really not doing too badly defensively. It's just a question of the offense is no time of possession, if you will. They don't keep that stat in lacrosse, but they have had the ball down here a lot, has Brown.
Now moving behind the net for the Bears is Lyle, trying to break free in front. He's pushed away by a Syracuse defender. Top of the box now. More precision passing by Brown. Syracuse's defense there to pick up the man with the ball as he moves behind the net. Volan can't get his man away from the goal, and scoring for the Bears is Selig, and it's 6-2 Brown. Sam Volan hacked him a couple of times, but then Selig was able to get around Sam Volan.
Turned back inside him, and that's where he got in trouble. And as he turned back in, Volan went with him, but he could not get on his stick. And that's watch the stick. See, the stick's free. When you see the stick free like that, when he turns, you know that he's going to be able to get a decent shot on the goalie, and he does, and makes it goal number 6.
4th goal of the season for Selig. Brown leads Syracuse 6-2 now. Face-offs starting to even up. Brown now with 5, Syracuse with 4. Ball loose at midfield. The Bears nearly had it. Syracuse trying to track it down. Both teams scrambling for the ball. It's taken by the Bears. An offensive opportunity and a score! Lyle scores again. The face-off forced the ball to bounce into Syracuse's end. Lyle chased it. He found it and put it past Gebhardt to make it 7-2 Brown.
A classic unsettled situation. Watch it here. Just knocks it out. Ball's in the ground. Nobody's got it yet. He just scoops through right there. Now you see him on the right. You're just going to see him on the right-hand side. He went through unmolested. It was like, geez, he just came through that pack, came up with the ground ball, and that's an important ground ball because he scored off it.
Lyle's 2nd goal of the day, and that illustrates the difficulty Syracuse has been having with the face-offs this season. Now the Orangemen get one back.
Great check. What a check by Brewer, 22 from Brown. Ball back on the turf.
Burns lost his cross. Syracuse comes up with the ground ball. Doug Jackson can't handle the pass. Too high for him, but he tracks it down. Doug Jackson angling far side of the field as Brown's defense sets up. Checking in for Syracuse, Kataya and Ryan Powell. Powell takes the pass on the near side. Syracuse needs a score or two before halftime. Ryan Powell, even with the cage near side, being forced away by a Brown defender. A flag coming down. Carcaterra breaks free, shoots high over the cage. We have a penalty against Brown coming up.
I was going to ask you if you saw that shot, but I don't think anybody did. That ball was a blur. It was like a pill went by there, and they got a shot off. It didn't go in, but Syracuse will get an opportunity to go man up. And our crew, of course, we can see it because we slow it down. But you can imagine, look at the speed, look at the crank he gets on that. And you know what? That's about at a 30th of a second, guys, and that's just flying by there like a pill.
It's almost baseball season. Looked like a Randy Johnson fastball.
Good point.
Nobody could see it. It was wild. It was high.
I hope it doesn't hit me.
Fortunately, nobody got it in the face. Syracuse 0 for 2 on the man-up situations. 30-second holding call against Brown. The Orange men want to get a goal on the board before halftime. Carcaterra top of the box. Syracuse, patient shot and the score. Rob Kapovic, 7-3 Brown.
Kapovic going to take the subway route. They slide over to get him, but he goes down low, and he hits it just inside the right leg. As they came out, Kesmodel came out to jump him, but watch what happens. He goes low, and Cattrano right inside his right leg on the offside, and Cattrano gives up goal number 3, and Syracuse down by 4.
Kapovic has figured in all 3 Syracuse goals. 2 goals and an assist today. The face-offs fairly even to this point. Syracuse battling back from a first half deficit there. The Orange men scrambling for possession. They get it. Doug Jackson, near side. Casey Powell feeds a cutter who scores. Kapovic again. 7-4 Brown. The Orange men are coming back before halftime.
It's all off the face-off. It's all the good things that happen off a face-off. It's bada bing, bada boom, in the hole. Watch. Face-off down. Up with it, number 30, Alexander. Bing, bang, boom. And Kapovic once again figures in a goal for Syracuse. After a feed from Powell. It's going to be 4 for Syracuse, 7 for Brown. Momentum to Syracuse.
And Kapovic scores twice to complete the hat trick, just seconds apart, to make it 7-4 Brown. Another face-off in midfield. We're even 6-6 in that department. A whistle of the face-off. The call against Brown. It's Syracuse ball.
Brewer didn't like it, but they detected him holding on to a leg of a Syracuse player. There's still a lot of time left.
And as Lasagna looks on, momentum clearly on the side of the Orange men. The crowd here in the Dome getting into the game as we head toward halftime. Syracuse with 15 ground balls to Brown's 12. The Orange men trailing by 3 as Casey Powell starts to move into the box. Shoots high, hit the crossbar, at least it sounded that way.
Yeah.
Carcaterra comes up with the ball. Carcaterra may have caught it in his cross, and another stick may have hit the crossbar. We did hear that distinctive ping.
Syracuse really putting the pressure on the ball.
Ball loose in front.
Oh, let's see where this one goes. Yes.
Great hustle by Gebhardt.
When it's a shot, whoever is closest to the line, and I will tell you, there's a line down there in the orange. It's very hard to see, and that was a good call. That was a very good call. He was closest to the ball when it went out of bounds. Let's see if they changed the call. Yes, they did.
So the call goes back to Brown's side, and the Bears have the ball behind the cage.
He originally made the call Syracuse way, and on the replay, it looked like that was the correct call, but in the interim, Syracuse has taken a timeout, and they have changed their mind on who gets the ball.
So now the Orangemen will have to play some defense with 1:09 left to go in the second quarter. Slugger wants to talk to his troops. Syracuse down 7-4. Roy Simmons Jr. speaking to his troops. The Orangemen, in one of their co-captains, Paul Carcaterra, has a guy with a whistling shot and terrific leadership.
Yes, he does. You know, he's developed a reputation of one of the fastest shots in the country. Maybe a little time to get it off, but when he gets it, they know he can hit the cage with a blistering shot well over 100 miles an hour. That, again, is a concern of a goalie, concern of a defense, concern of a defensive midi. To get on Paul, he's disruptive. If he's not ringing the bell every time, he's disruptive enough. They know they can't give him a lot of time when he's going to hit the net.
And we have seen Paul Carcaterra's whistling shot today, the senior from Yorktown Heights, one of the Orange's co-captains. And the seniors and their leadership will loom large in this game for the Orangemen to make a comeback. Down 7-4 to the Brown Bears. 2-3 on the season coming in. Syracuse at 4-1. The Bears have control of the tempo, and Brown gets the ball.
Look, it's a 10-on ride. The goalie's out going to play defense. And it worked.
Gutsy call by the Orangemen. They lost it out of bounds. Clark was there. He tried to track it down. Gebhardt provided the defensive pressure as well. Brown gets it back. 1:03 left to go in the second quarter. The Bears set up their offense. And who knows? After the half they've played, they may want to hold for the final shot.
I'm sure that's what you're going to see. And Syracuse, of course, wants to make sure they don't get it off. So they had that great inbounds defense, but they lost it out of bounds, and now they're going to have to play with the man in the cage and play good defense.
Duick has it, chased by Cummings behind the goal. Duick trying to break free, but Cummings is there step for step. Duick shoots, knocked away by Gebhardt. Ball rolls loose behind the net. Syracuse ball, 24 seconds to go in the half.
No doubt about that one, they were there. Let's see what they do with it.
Long pass downfield for Gebhardt, taken away by the Bears and Lyle. He moves in, 3-on-2. Another pass and a goal. Frood scores again. What a turn of events in favor of the Brown Bears to pick off that pass and turn it into a goal in 10 seconds. An amazing play by Brown.
Well, you know, obviously they never should have tried the long clear because it was about 10 yards too short. And Frood in the right place at the right time, which is right in front of the goalie, puts it in the hole. And Syracuse, just like that, loses a goal, loses momentum, and now they're doubled up 8-4.
The Bears make that extra pass. So crucial to find Frood in front. Face off, Syracuse now has the edge. 7-6. The flag is down. Brown controlled the face off, and the Brown player was knocked to the turf by one of the Orangemen, so Brown gets the ball back with 9 seconds to go in the quarter.
And just as important as that, Ted, is that in this situation, if they hold on to the ball, they'll get the face-off without, if they have possession, they can get face-off the second half without having to go through face-off. So they've got 8 seconds or 9 seconds, they may hold on to the ball.
And that's probably what they'll do. That's an excellent point.
Let's put it this way, when that whistle, the siren goes off, somebody from Brown wants that ball in his stick. Ackerman's the guy who's sitting for 30. They need a ball. They'll get the ball boys bringing in. Now they have 2. All right.
That might help Syracuse's chances. Brown very patient offensively, and they'll just run out the clock here in the second quarter. Now making a move to the far side, but time will elapse on quarter number 2. And that's it. Syracuse hustling into the halftime locker room to talk some strategy. Peter Lasagna's Brown Bears have an 8-4 lead. A surprise in the Dome today. The Orangemen having a tough time getting started against a very deliberate and intelligent Brown team. It's 8-4 at halftime here in the Carrier Dome. We are getting set for the third quarter here in the Carrier Dome. The Brown Bears lead the Syracuse Orangemen 8-4. Kind of a surprising halftime score. Brown has control of the tempo. We have to see some first half highlights to figure out what the heck happened to the Orangemen.
It's interesting. They lost a little bit of momentum, and one of the reasons is the first guy we're going to see is a guy named Scott Banerjee, who went coast to coast, takes a left-handed shot early and went high and beat Gebhardt and Syracuse. Gave them a lot of momentum. Now you're going to watch a slide, a double team, and he's going to put a one-hander in. right there as he goes down. And that gave Syracuse a little bit of a lift, but here's what really did them in at the end. 11 seconds left. They tried a long pass. They finally get it down to Frood, who's camped right out in front of the crease, and the kid from Jordan Elbridge gives him an 8-4 lead on a great shot. Let's check out the stats. Shots 24-18, saves 7 and 4. Ground balls, really not much of a statistic. 7-7 is kind of misleading because I think that they have done much more with their faceoffs. Brown has. Clears 9-11, 8-9 for Syracuse. But I think the real clear idea is time of possession that Brown has really dominated and held on to the ball, taken really good shots. And Syracuse, they would get a run up, but then lose an important faceoff. So that's been the story so far.
Brown features a young attack, and as Peter Lasagna tells us, those young freshmen up front have done a tremendous job of generating some offense for the Bears as this season has gone.
We have a very young attack group. Brett Frood, who is a senior, but who's played midfield most of his career at Brown, is now sort of running the attack. And then a junior, Mike Satin, and a sophomore, Rob Lyle. And we look for them to grow every game, and they have. They all had very nice days on Wednesday, and I'd like them to repeat that today.
So a good mix of some experience along with the freshmen on the attack. The Orangemen have been outshot in 4 of 5 games this season. 3-1 when outshot in those games. So that isn't a tremendous concern at this point for the Orangemen as play is underway here in the third quarter.
Well, they didn't have to face it off because of the penalty situation. Great move there. Number 7, Cummings. There was a shot. Brown, man, put a stick up, but coming in from the substitution area was Cummings, and he stepped right out where the ball was, and Syracuse now gets possession. So a smart play by Cummings gets Syracuse the ball after one shot by Brown. No face-off.
You get the feeling that the Orangemen are like a volcano ready to erupt after falling behind by 4 goals in the first half after a halftime pep talk by head coach Roy Simmons Jr. and his terrific staff. The Orangemen looking for a little payback here in the second half. Centering pass taken out of the air by Cattrano. We have a whistle now, and we'll wait for the official decision, and the goal popped loose from its moorings.
There's Cattrano right there. Let's see what long looping pass, and he steps up, and there's the man right there, hits the goal. That's why they stopped the play.
So Brown has the ball. The Bears work the clear out of their own end. Brown has done a tremendous job clearing the ball all afternoon, nearly flawless on the day. The Bears patient on offense as they have been all the way through this game. Collar takes it near side. Picked up by Saccharin of the Orangemen. Dent into the game. Brings it behind the Syracuse goal.
Once again, you get a good look at the Brown Bears setting up on the outside on the high post, way up high with the cutters. And now they pop way out, hoping to get somebody open, but they're patient and they'll make another pass and they'll set it all up and start it all over again.
Syracuse's close defense, strong on this possession. Ball wide of the cage, out of bounds. And the Brown Bears retain possession after tracking it down, triggering his Dent behind the net. You can see from up top how Brown works its offense around the goal.
And they ran an isolation there, and the Orangemen got to stay on, and they let him free, and he got a shot off. Number 12, Sillig, again. And Syracuse does not answer the bell here in the second half as they give up a quick goal.
Sillig with the tally, beating Gebhardt. And Selig's day continues. His second goal of the afternoon to make it 9-4 Brown. And that's a good point you made, Dale. Syracuse did not answer the bell here in the third quarter. After going down 8-4 at the half, we expected them to come out very strong in the second half, but it's Brown that gets the first goal.
Well, there's a lot of lacrosse left, but if you're a Syracuse fan, you got to be a little bit concerned. But Syracuse does have the ball now.
Off the faceoff, controlled by the Orangemen. High shot behind the net is trailed by Syracuse, so the Orangemen get it. Casey Powell flinging it high above the Brown cage, so the Orangemen trigger as head coach Roy Simmons Jr. looks on. Nice centering pass. Shot knocked away by Cattrano. It's loose behind the goal. Syracuse ball.
Good hustle. Kavovit back there to do the backup.
And he will trigger. Sends it out high to Sakrin. Or make that Kataya, top of the box. Ball loose for a moment, but Ryan Powell gets it back. Centering pass. Shot and a score! Casey Powell. The Orange Men are on the scoreboard for the first time in the second half.
Well, they answered, didn't they? They came back and they took a nice one-hopper as Kavovit once again gets an assist and a feed. There's the high hopper, and it's going to go up stick side over the left-handed goalie, and Cattrano not able to stop that one. So Kavovit once again successful on a nice assist. Powell gets the goal.
Syracuse's 2 leading scorers on the season combined for that tally. The Orange Men, their 9th face-off. Brown has 7. Here comes Syracuse quickly in the offensive end. Another goal for the Orange Men. Syracuse getting untracked. 9-6, Brown. Casey Powell doing more damage.
Burns starts it off. He gets the face-off. Burns feeds him on the corner. Then they get to Powell at the attack, and he puts it down low, and Burns did a nice job of getting the face-off.
Her prediction might come true. 2nd goal of the day for Casey Powell. 1 assist. 9-6 Brown. The Orange Men lead in face-offs. 9-7. Make it 10-7. Here comes Burns. Syracuse will set up offensively. Brown on its heels. Ball loose in front. Vanderpool missed a stab at it. It's loose. Cattrano comes way out. Picks up the ground ball. He starts to rush himself up the near sideline. Could be in trouble. Spins away from the pressure. Lead pass ahead is loose. Just rolls wide of the net. Frightening play.
You want action? You got it.
Could you imagine if that ball had rolled in?
Whoa.
Didn't miss by much. Syracuse ball. The Orangemen on the clear.
He took a calculated risk. He made the jump, and you're right. But, that's what happens when you're an active goalie like that. Cattrano brought it way out. Coyote clears for the Orangemen.
Here he comes. Right-hand cradle. Coyote at full speed. Centering pass. Doug Jackson lost it. We'll make that Kavovit. It's loose on the turf. Brown ball off the ground ball. The Bears work the clear. Nice pass to midfield and Deere. It's knocked away by Syracuse. The Orangemen get the ground ball. Pass ahead for Carcaterra beyond his reach. Here comes Brown again. The Orangemen there to defend. Selig working in. Lead shot and a score! Fruit again. 10-6 Brown. End-to-end action.
Unbelievable. Fruit got open. The ball was being contested. There was bodies falling all over the turf, and they did not get Fruit covered, and he went one-on-one. See the pass right there, and they didn't have a chance to come out and get him. And Fruit cashed in for Brown, 10-6.
So a homecoming for Brett Fruit.
Yeah.
The hat trick.
Yep.
Syracuse had been doing a good job on the face-offs. As you said, Dale, momentum swinging back and forth. Now Brown has it. There's a bouncer right into Gebhardt's cross. He'll send it upfield to Casey Powell. Off his cross and out of bounds. It'll be Brown ball.
Turned him around on that, and he got a stick on it, but it bounded off his stick. I look to see Syracuse go right after whoever's got the ball, and it's Kanish, who's done a great job defensively, number 30, on the right side of the screen there, and that's Casey Powell on him. They're going to pick up everybody and force this clear. And you can hear him directing traffic.
Terrific passing. Dewick brings it into the offensive end for the Bears. He's hacked, ball loose. Brown gets it back quickly. Syracuse unsettled defensively. Brown will slow down the play. The Bears have to watch out. They don't start to play an up-tempo game because that's what Syracuse wants.
You're right. Syracuse a little bit unsettled in that unsettled situation. They left somebody open, and he ran to the crease and held his stick up and said, "I'm open." Syracuse picked him up, but it's been a very, very nerve-wracking up-and-down action.
Brown leads Syracuse 10-6 here in the third quarter of play. The Bears very patient. They work the ball around the Syracuse goal. Syracuse's close defense packed in tightly surrounding Gebhardt.
running that zone again, I think. Fans tell them they're delaying the game.
Now they start to move the ball around the perimeter, almost answering the fans here in the Dome to show us some action. Frood controls, sends it top of the box. Breaking free for the shot, and the goal is Berger. He's on the scoreboard. It's 11-6 Brown.
Number 43, let's check. No, top shot right there, 36. That was Berger, and he just takes a left-handed shot. Watch what he does right there, and he just goes stick side, and that was a quick shot. And just like that, they're up by 5.
Fourth goal of the season for Tim Berger. 11-6 Brown. Face-offs. 10 for Syracuse, 8 for the Bears. The Orangemen come up with this one. Casey Powell.
He's double teaming him. You're going to have to get rid of the ball. They're putting 2 brown shirts on him every time he gets the ball.
He lost it that trip. 3-on-2 for Brown. Bears will bring it back outside as Syracuse's defense quickly gets back to give Gebhardt some help. Selig controls, drops it off for Banerjee, top of the box. He scored earlier, as we saw with a tremendous move during our halftime highlights. Banerjee working against a Syracuse defender. That's Burns on the far side. Banerjee gets it away near side for Lyle. Syracuse defenders talking to each other, making sure every man is accounted for. Bowen with the defense on the far side.
You know, normally 5 goals, not a lot, I mean, in a lacrosse game, but when they take as much time to score and they are able to do it so well, it does cause problems. And that hurts too.
That is a killer goal scored by the Brown Bears, and Selig, who scores again. He was on the doorstep, just inches away from Gebhardt, took the lead pass, put it past Gebhardt quickly to make it a 12-6 game.
You're right, it wasn't much of a shot either. He just redirected the ball. He just did a little bit of a quick stick, and Syracuse defense is not playing well enough when you leave somebody uncovered right there. That was the problem. Body position. So Selig, 3 goals and 2 assists. I said at the top of this is one Syracuse should win, but fortunately they don't listen to sportscasters or anybody like that. They're just coming out and playing a heck of a game so far.
Brown has scored on its last 4 shots in a row. So Gebhardt has struggled. The Bears continue to find the open man. Brown controlling the face-off after that last goal. Ball is loose, and a timeout is taken before the ball popped loose by Brown head coach Peter Lasagna, so the Bears will keep it. And some dejected faces shown by the Orangemen. That's Alexander as he walks toward the near sideline.
Well, they know how long it's going to take to get back in the game, because Brown just takes all the time off and then takes good shots and makes very efficient use of their offensive series. We've got some other good games coming up. This one perhaps at this point a shocker, but we've got Cornell, Rutgers, Penn, and Hobart. And all of these should be good games. Hobart, a traditional rival. Rutgers kind of up and coming. Cornell right down the road from here always gives Syracuse trouble. And of course Penn, another Ivy League school, traditionally a good squad.
Now before this game, Syracuse head coach Roy Simmons Jr. talked about how tough the Brown Bears would be, and he wasn't kidding. As we've seen it unfold today, Slugger knew the Bears would be tough.
They're a tough team, one of the better Ivy League teams, and we have quite a few Ivies on our schedule. It's important for us not to lose to a low-ranked team, which they are now. They certainly won't finish as low as they are today, but they're a good Ivy team. I think they'll challenge Princeton for the Ivy title.
That's impressive for Coach Simmons to say that Brown could challenge Princeton. Princeton, a very good team, ranked #1 in the country this week. Shots in favor of the Brown Bears, 29-24 over the Orangemen. Syracuse has managed to win some games when they have been outshot, but that's never a good sign.
And they generally shoot 40 or 45 even when they get outshot, so they're down on that. And the efficiency and the quality of shots, Brown has just been outstanding.
Fine defense played by Cummings as he forces the man outside. Duick had to get rid of it. Now Lyle has it. Top of the box. He plays catch with Satin. Volan comes out to chase him. Satin with some speed, trying to get away from Volan. Sends it behind the goal for Selig. Brown will reset. Selig trying to get free for a shot. Centering pass, shot and a score. Brown is on fire as Lyle scores again. 13-6. Brown is starting to run away with this game.
Well, watch, he makes a break on McCartan right there. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm not sure it was McCartan. He slid over, but there was nobody there to pick him up. Watch him do the high shot. Lyle up in the air, and let's see where he comes from. He just was not guarded. Rob Lyle comes up with his third goal today, and Syracuse, as you said, in trouble right now, down by 7. They have come back in the past, and they came back against Virginia, but they've got to start doing it right now.
Syracuse leads in the faceoffs 10-9. The Bears trying to grab that one. Ball deflected out of bounds. It'll be Syracuse ball. So the Orangemen have a chance to get things going offensively as Peter Lasagna likes what he sees from the Brown sideline so far. Still a lot of lacrosse left to be played. 22 minutes of lacrosse left to go as we see Casey Powell getting set to trigger. The Bears now 5 for 5 in their last 5 shots on goal. All scores beating Jason Gebhardt. Casey Powell moving toward the net. Centering pass is knocked away. Another ground ball for the Bears. Strong speed shown by Sowers. He heads upfield. The Bears will reset the offense. The Orangemen come away empty-handed on that possession.
And they didn't, not a shot, and now they've got the ball back, and once again the clock becomes a factor. They got it down there at about, let's say about 6:30, 6:40. We'll see how long it takes them to get a shot off.
The Bears have outscored Syracuse 5-2 in this third quarter of play. 13-6, Brown on top, pulling a stunner here in the Carrier Dome today. Syracuse's close defense has been tested. Shot and a score! You gotta be kidding me. Berger using his body to get position, spins quickly for the shot and the goal. It's 14-6 Brown.
Well, that one didn't take too long. I was going to see how long it took, but he just does a great job. Berger backs up, and Doyle's on him, number 30, Alexander, but he just turns and fires, and they are really putting it to Syracuse at this point.
For Berger, his second goal of the day. And Brown has scored 6 goals on 6 shots. It's last 6 shots of the game.
That's that efficiency I was talking about. They have just made great opportunities, and when they had, they took advantage of them. That one was quick. They've taken some more time on the other ones, and that's put it down to 5:45 in this quarter, third quarter. Let's see, we've got a procedure call against Syracuse. They're going to lose the ball.
The Orangemen really struggling both offensively and defensively here in this third quarter. It was a 4-goal game at halftime. Now Brown leads by 8, if you can believe that. 14-6. Syracuse will have to have a comeback like the one we saw against Virginia in the first game of the season to pull this one out in the Dome today.
The difference there is you could feel that coming almost, you know, and they just seemed to come back, and it was an amazing comeback, but this you just don't have that same feeling, I would say.
And that was a shootout because Virginia didn't waste any time putting the ball on net either. That was a 22-21 final. Syracuse coming back to win. Brown very deliberate offensively, and you can see as the game has gone along, more offense from the Bears. 6-2 the edge in the third quarter of play, and it's 14-6 on the scoreboard. Centering pass is loose in front. It will roll out of bounds, and Syracuse will get possession. But going back to the analogy, Dale, between the Virginia game and this game today, the Cavaliers have an up-tempo offense much like Syracuse, so you expected as the game progressed it would be a shootout. Brown very deliberate, a lot like when Princeton has the ball in basketball. They use up a lot of time before they shoot. The Bears do the same thing in lacrosse.
Good point. But one thing I will say, and Coach Lasagna said it, we will run when we want to, and then we'll hold off when we want to, and that's exactly what they've done today. They have run when they wanted to, and they've slowed it down when they wanted to, and that's a dangerous combination when you can do that.
The flag is down to go against Brown. Syracuse with a man-up situation coming up.
There it is right there. He's going to slug him in the head. If they try to get the stick over him, it's going to be a slash. So Underwood down for one. Syracuse.
This is a good opportunity for the Orange men. Syracuse 1 of 3 on man-up situations. This one is crucial. Syracuse's offense is asleep here in the third quarter. And the Orange trail at 14-6. Casey Powell sends it top of the box for Cattrano. The Orangemen working around the cage. Powell, centering pass in front. Shot to score. The Orangemen on the man-up situation make it 14-7 in favor of Brown.
I'm not sure who got it. Was it Cattrano? It was kind of a, let's see, the pass over to Powell. Back. Yeah. Cattrano on the goal. So that brings Syracuse to within 7.
When was the last time we had to say that?
Yeah, right. Good point, Ted.
So Cattrano's goal makes it a 14-7 game. Syracuse has dominated the faceoffs here in the third quarter. It's 13-9 in favor of the Orange, and another one going to Syracuse and Burns.
Burns having a good day in that respect.
The Orange offense setting up as Burns takes it. Top of the box, near side for Casey Powell. The Orange men will work it around. Substitutions checking in for the Orange men. Cattrano is back on, as is Glisker.
Glisker going back to the football team, I understand.
There's a quick shot. It's deflected in front, taken away by Brown.
Long pass.
This is dangerous. Syracuse ball.
Hit our cameraman, Tigger. Hang in there, Tigger.
There's a souvenir for a lucky fan. Can you keep lacrosse balls here in the Dome?
I don't think so.
We've got you on tape. You
14-7.
better surrender that ball.
Yeah, that's right.
Lower right-hand corner. Hard to believe, but it's true. 14-7. Brown leading the second-ranked Syracuse Orangemen. 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter here in the Dome. Cattrano tries to work around the screen. Now goes the opposite route. On the doorstep. Shot just goes wide. Syracuse there to track it down as Casey Powell backs it up. And Rob Kavovich shaking his head.
Cattrano excited about that. Made another, lost that one.
I believe that one will go to Casey Powell as he just triggered himself behind the cage, broke out in front and beat Cattrano with a left-handed shot.
Cattrano thought he had it, and we'd like to see it on a replay. Let's see what happens here. Oh, he thought he had it in his stick and it trickled down, and Powell 3 and 2 on the day, but Syracuse got to keep humming here in this third quarter.
Another face-off at midfield. The Orange men about to have it. The call goes against Brown, so Syracuse will get it anyway.
Syracuse gets some defense, Ackerman off the defensive midi, big stick, and they bring in, again, Cattrano and Glisker.
Cattrano on the near side of the field. Sends it behind the net for Kavovich. Centering pass in front. Shot knocked away by Cattrano as he makes the save. Matt Doyle, as we see a shot of Glisker.
He's a big guy.
About 6'4".
Yeah, football player.
Here comes Casey Powell, working his way in front. Shot from a bad angle. Brown comes up with the ball. The Bears work to clear. Down to 2:40 to go in the third quarter of play.
Uh-oh.
Another risky pass by Brown. It'll be Syracuse ball again. The Bears are starting to lose their concentration with this fat lead.
McNamara, number 6, I thought he might wake up around the midfield mark, but he did take a shot, not quite that bad. Watch, because he's way up in the air, extended, and it was just a nice, clean shot by Rule, and he let the ball go out of bounds, and Syracuse gets it back. There's the guy. He's a big guy, too, about 6'5", 230.
He'll bruise you.
Yep.
Rule sliding over to make that check. 10 turnovers for Brown, 7 for Syracuse. The Orangemen have possession now as they move the ball upfield, trailing by 6, 14-8. Coyote into the game along with Ira Vanterpool at midfield. Vanterpool takes the top of the box. Ira trying to work his way in for a shot. Deflected by Cattrano. Ball pops out of bounds. Ira Vanterpool is there. Syracuse should keep it, and they will.
Vanterpool in the second midfield, guys. They're trying to put a little pressure on. Maybe feel they're a little fresher now at this point. Maybe they can get a step on the Brown defense.
The shots even on the day, 31 aside. Casey Powell has it knocked away. Ira Vanderpool tracks it down with his back to the goal. To Kataya. Syracuse works it around. Less than 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Shot and a score! Casey Powell, number 4 for him. It's 14-9. The Orangemen are creeping back into it.
Creeping. This one crept along the carpet. He goes low, high, low, and that's exactly what he wants Cattrano to do. Look at me, find my stick, and then I'm going to put it where you were, not where I am.
4 goals, 2 assists for Casey Powell on the day. Syracuse's leading scorer this season. The Orangemen have dominated the faceoffs here in the third. Now 15-9 in favor of Syracuse. Ball loose. Brown tracks it down. The Bears will want to slow down this tempo.
Yeah, they sure will.
Syracuse with 3 unanswered goals to make it a 14-9 game. There you see our time remaining in the third quarter. The Bears work it around. Nice check by McCartney. Comes up with the loose ball. He took it away. Or make that Burns. Burns off the faceoff comes up with the defensive stop. Here comes Syracuse on the clear. Now McCartney has it. He moves toward midfield. Drops it off for Vanderpool. He'll bring it ahead. Here come the Orangemen. Casey Powell, centering pass. Shot knocked away. Ball is loose in front. Will we get a crease violation?
I think he was pushed in illegally. That would be my call.
A push, Syracuse ball.
If he gets a push from behind, they really force the action to the crease. Ball's up in the air, and there's the hit right there. Number 20 pushes him in. That's Kesmodel. But the save was great by Cattrano. Popped it up in the air. Syracuse going to get the ball back. 1:06, third quarter.
From point-blank range, big save by Cattrano. Syracuse has the ball after the push. The Orangemen down 5. Syracuse works it around the goal. Carcaterra and Vanderpool set up near side. Syracuse sends it back far side, now behind the net. Kavovit controls. Long pass out in front. Shot. Deflected in front. Cattrano comes up with it. Here comes Brown on the clear. The Bears with some speed. Kesmodel moving in. Ball knocked away by Coyote. A flag is down.
The ball is loose. The ball was loose. I got a hold on the white.
He's going to give no time serve penalty, but he said the ball was loose. Must have been up out of his stick when he made the hit. Let's see. There's the wrap. Oh, that's right. He just held him. After, he made a good check, but he still was holding him with his stick, Ted, so that was a good call.
Could have been a slash.
Yeah.
Fortunately for Syracuse, that isn't the call.
Not at this point in the game, unless you scar him.
Trying to take his head off.
That's right.
29 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Big defensive stand right here.
This is big. Who will get momentum going into the fourth? The Bears control. You can watch the time elapse here in the third quarter of play.
Help.
Shot knocked away. Syracuse trying to fight for it. And possession goes to Brown. Excellent effort by Alexander behind the goal as he dove down to this turf. Brown will get the ball, though, with 15 seconds remaining in the third.
It was Sheridan did a nice job diving for Brown.
And he triggers. Checked by Alexander, trying to get free in front. Sheridan holding it in his cross.
No, not even close.
Will it be Syracuse ball?
Well, it should time elapsed, so it'll go fourth quarter now. Back to the third quarter circle.
Is in the books. The Orangemen, who have dominated the faceoffs in the third, will try to do more of the same in the fourth. The Brown Bears trying to hang on in the dome. It's Brown 14, Syracuse 9. Fourth quarter action right after this.
I think that obviously for the upstate kids that are from up here, Brett Frude and the others, it's real important. They've spent their whole lives watching games in this building, and they would like to go out to be the first class of seniors to beat Syracuse.
Peter Lasagna, head coach of the Brown Bears, discussing the importance of this game for his team. Brown 2-3 on the season. What an upset this would be in the Dome today if Syracuse fails to come back. But the Orangemen control another faceoff as Burns sends it for Ryan Powell. Powell, near side for Jackson. Another pass in front, shot, and a score! The Orangemen! Kavovit, 14-10 Brown. That took all of 12 seconds.
That's why you can win these games. It does not take long. It comes from the faceoff. Watch Kavovit. This is great. Watch what he does. Up, down, go low. Defenseman slid over to help out, but Knish couldn't stop him. And you're going to see it again. Bing, bang, boom.
Kavovit with his 4th goal of the day to go along with 2 assists, put it past 2 Brown players, Cattrano and Knish. Syracuse leading in the faceoff department 16-10. This one will come to Brown, though. The Bears will start the offense. Kesmodel taking the ground ball. I would have to say, Dale, that Syracuse has controlled the tempo since halftime.
They have, and I bet you they'd like a couple of things back, but it doesn't happen in lacrosse. They're going to have to play pressure defense now to get that ball back.
Syracuse trailing by 4 with more than 14 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Plenty of time for this Syracuse team to fight back and win this ball game in front of the home fans. Ball is loose on the turf, quickly scooped back up by the Brown Bears on the far side of the field. Lyle gets it away. Ball loose in front of the cage. Syracuse forcing the ball loose. The Orangemen come up with the ground ball.
Oh, good check.
The Bears forcing the action.
Dent, great check. One-hand wrap check.
Lyle controls far side of the field, picked up by McCartan as he circles around the Syracuse goal. McCartan forcing Lyle wide. Now he gets it away to Selig. Volan pops the ball loose. It's loose on the turf. Rolls near the sideline, but Brown is able to keep it in play as Selig keeps it alive. Taken away by Josh Rule. Now back for Gebhardt. Syracuse on the clear. Pass ahead, just beyond the reach of Powell. Syracuse has scored the last 4 goals of this game. The Orangemen don't get the call on the far side of the field. 2 Syracuse players there to argue, Kavovit and Casey Powell.
Looked like it went off the Brown stick. That's not the way it was seen. Must have hit a Syracuse player.
Kavovit very upset with that call. Nevertheless, Brown will take it. On the far side, Knish will trigger. Back for his goaltender, Cattrano. Sends it ahead for Sheridan. Now the Bears advance it into the Syracuse end.
Syracuse just picking up. Saccharin just getting back to play D.
Berger controls on the near side of the field. Picked up by Alexander. Brown very patient on this trip. Lyle has it top of the box, angling in for a shot. Bounce shot and a score. Brown stops the bleeding. It's 15-10.
Good analogy. Watch number 33, left-handed shot. Takes a high bounce, and Gebhardt, not screened, just could not track that one down. Not having his best game.
Lyle's 4th goal of the day. The sophomore attack man from Chicago. He's kind of a small guy, 5'10", 165, but he's doing big damage in the Dome today. Another face-off controlled by the Bears. They lose it. It's loose now. Alexander, or rather Burns, comes up with it. He lost it. Syracuse regains control. Here comes Kataya with a left-hand cradle. His eye firmly on the goal. Now Syracuse will slow things down, working around the cage. Kavovit has it behind the goal. He's checked by Knish. Jackson and Kavovit play catch. Centering pass for Casey Powell, right into the cross of Cattrano as he makes the save. He's in trouble. He's in trouble. Triple team gets it away. We have a whistle, though. What will be the call?
Yeah, in and out of that box. They can't go back in. Once you clear out of there, when the 10-second count starts, you can't go back in. So they will get the ball. Syracuse will get the ball. Cattrano out. There's the save. Made a good save. And then later went out and then went back in the restraining line into the box.
Cattrano with 12 saves today. He's done a great job of stopping the shot, then taking the ball with it as well.
Oh.
Lisker winds up, and Cattrano makes another save, his 13th. Brown on the clear. The Bears lose it, rolling toward the sideline. Off a Syracuse player, it will be Brown ball. A costly mistake by the Bears, but Syracuse can't capitalize as one of the Brown defenders took his eye off the ball for a moment and lost it.
Jackson was there, but he couldn't control it before it went over the sideline.
Brown doing a great job clearing the ball, 17 of 23. Syracuse not too shabby as well, 13 of 17. The Bears with their 24th attempt of the day here. They lead Syracuse 15-10. We have a whistle, and it's Syracuse ball once again.
Once you get beyond that line there, you can't go back. You have to keep pushing it forward.
The Orangemen don't waste any time. Casey Powell winds. It's a low shot, knocked away by Cattrano. He'll chase it down. The Bears start the clear. Cattrano with 14 saves. Long pass, can't be handled. Rolling toward the sideline. Syracuse gets it.
Time becomes a problem now. Just under 11 minutes, 10:56. Syracuse has to score 10 goals to win and hold them scoreless.
You see our time remaining in the fourth quarter. Brown with a 5-goal lead on the Orangemen. Syracuse will trigger far side of the field, and they'll have to work the ball out of their own end. Pass ahead to Sharretts from Gebhardt. Carcaterra takes it now, right into the teeth of the defense. Syracuse works it around the cage. You can see how tightly Brown defenders are bunched around that cage.
Zone defense, just trying to keep them out and make them take the poor percentage shot and just say, we'll get the rebound.
There's a shot.
Oh, great
Another save by Cattrano. He's been magnificent. He starts the clear himself. Sends it ahead with a terrific pass to McNamara. 3-on-2. Lead pass for Frood, who scores. 16-10 Brown. That one was huge.
Frood has been in the forefront of those fast breaks. I think that's the third time he's been able to get open on a fast break, and you're going to see he's a finisher, and he's one-on-one with Gebhardt and takes it high, and Frood puts perhaps the last nail in. I don't know. 10-16 left. Syracuse have to score 7 goals now to win in 10 minutes.
10-16, 10-16. Syracuse with a 16-12 edge in faceoffs. Brown leads it by 6. The Orangemen trailing in this contest 16-10. Syracuse comes up with a loose ball at midfield. Another faceoff for the Orangemen. Syracuse can't waste any time. The Orange waiting for the middies to check in. Kataya is on. Ryan Powell is on. Doug Jackson controls, waiting for some help. Clark into the game as well. Casey Powell sends it for Kavovit behind the goal. Casey Powell winds, a bounce shot knocked away by Cattrano. High bounce in front of the cage, taken by Doug Jackson. Right to Cattrano's cross. Now Cattrano working the clear again. Near side for Collard. Long pass, out of bounds, Syracuse ball. Mistake by Collard, a little bit over-anxious on the clear. Syracuse will take it near midfield, and the long stick defenders check in for the Brown Bears. The Orangemen trail 16-10, 9:22 left to go in the fourth quarter of play. Ryan Powell with his shot taken off the turf by Cattrano. Very tough to beat the defense when they're all clustered around in the slot like that.
Yep, playing a good zone defense, and then you got a guy who can make the stop, and they're making one shot, he's making the save and starting back the other way, and the clock keeps running.
Controlling for Brown is Sowers. He gets it away, far side. Whistle.
And a failure to advance. Brown's going to lose possession. Syracuse will get it way down in their own zone.
The Orange men need to have the ball as much as possible in this game. You can't score if you don't have the ball. Syracuse has it now. Casey Powell behind the net. Playing catch with Kavovitz. Centering pass intended for Jackson. Tapped away. Casey Powell gets it back.
All those sticks in that zone defense, they all just fly toward the ball.
Kavovitz on the doorstep. Knocked away by Cattrano. Syracuse will keep it.
Did you see that, Ted? Just going to say, they all leaned in. Everybody's got their stick there. It's like trying to shoot a gun through a forest. It's difficult.
There you can see on the replay exactly what Dale just described. Brown's defense shutting down the sight lines to the goal. The Orange men looking for a man in front. Carcaterra! 16-11. What a bullet!
That made the net jump, didn't it? Carcaterra from the outside. He gets through that field of aluminum there, and he pumps it in and brings Syracuse to within 5. This should be interesting as Carcaterra comes up with number 2 today. There's going to be some scrambling for the ball at the face-off circle.
And this is when it gets really exciting here in the Carrier Dome. This amount of time left in the game, and Syracuse down. Burns comes up with the loose ball off the face-off. Now it's knocked away from him. We have a flag down.
That's a penalty.
The call should go against Brown.
Yeah, that's going to be his time served. So that's a 30-second penalty on number 25. That was Chesler.
Let's watch it. Philip Chesler called for the violation. The junior defenseman from Pittsford, New York. 30-second holding call against him. Syracuse back on the man up. 2 of 4 on the day for the Orange men. This is number 5 here, 30 seconds.
If they get this one, listen to the fans, Ted. They'll believe they can get back into it if they can put this one in.
It'll be like the Virginia game all over again with that fourth quarter comeback. Casey Powell top of the box. Near side for Ryan. His shot knocked away by Cattrano. Ball rolls out of bounds. Syracuse will keep it. Cattrano has been sensational in goal for the Brown Bears today.
Great body position. Had that stick down, had the body trying to make himself as big as possible. 6 seconds left on the man up.
Powell again hanging on the doorstep. Centering pass for Ryan Powell. He's quickly picked up. Lost the ball. Ryan Powell tracks it down. Sends it to Casey Powell beyond his reach. Rolling toward midfield. Brown gets it. 3-on-1. Frood ahead. Shot. Score, Brown! Scoring for the Bears, Lyle. Back there, along with Frood. They have been the story for the Bears today, along with Selig. A crucial goal.
The ball, poor pass, and they could not stop it at the midfield line. Now watch Frood takes a left-handed pass, and he hits his teammate where he's been a number of times. So Lyle gets the assist, and Frood makes the nice pass, and the upstate kid shows that he can play lacrosse.
5th goal of the day for Lyle. Brown has scored 3 goals in that fashion today, and off the face-off, they're putting more pressure again. Shot knocked away by Gebhardt. And he comes up with the loose ball as he stoned Selig. Syracuse on the clear. The Orange men can't waste any time. Ahead on the far side to Burns from Volan. Here comes Kavovitz. Vanderpool is in, along with Andy Sharretts. Ira Vanderpool shoots. Cattrano the save. He comes up with the ground ball as well. And here comes Brown on the clear. Bears work it around the Syracuse cage. Time is on their side. Volan applying some defensive pressure.
You know, it's one thing to have a good game plan like Coach Lasagna did in terms of we'll run when we want to and slow it down when we want to, but to be able to execute it is impressive, and they have been able to do that today.
They've done it for virtually the entire game. They didn't really show any lapses.
Nope, and they never really just sat on the ball, but when they wanted to slow it, they did, ran their plays, and when they got the fast breaks, they took them, and they're going to get another one.
Unbelievable. Frood again. Brown is starting to salt this one away. One of the Syracuse players slow to get up, It's probably just dejection that's keeping Alexander down on the turf. It's an 18-11 game.
But Frood, nobody able to be in front of him, and Gebhardt just not able to do much. It's virtually impossible to stop those one-on-one, and Frood has been there 5-1. What an afternoon he's having.
Frood's strong day continues. 6 points for him on the afternoon. A homecoming for him. The senior from Jordan Elbridge High School in Elbridge. 6 minutes, 3 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Brown leads Syracuse 18-11.
No penalty, by the way. It was, whatever it was wiped out, I believe.
And a timeout is taken by Brown. Head coach Peter Lasagna wants to talk with his team about how to maintain this lead in the Carrier Dome here in the fourth quarter of play. The Orange men are down 7 to the Brown Bears with 6 minutes, 3 seconds to go in this contest. After the Brown Bears leave town, Syracuse takes on another Ivy League club, the Cornell Big Red. You will see that game here on Super Sports, Wednesday, April 9th at 8:30 in the evening. One of the big stories for the Brown Bears today has been the goaltender, Greg Cattrano, the senior from Center Reach, New York. And as Peter Lasagna tells us, he has been sensational all year.
Greg Cattrano, I would say we start with him, our second-team All-American goalie, and we look for him to jumpstart us, for him to get off to a great start. That really helps us. His energy, his emotion really get us going.
And we've seen today how terrific Greg Cattrano can be. 18 saves on the afternoon, and he's made some, Dale, at very close range.
And has gotten, I think, stronger here in the third and fourth quarter when Syracuse had to get to him, and he just was relentless and really did a nice job.
Casey Powell will trigger for the Orange men. Syracuse works the ball around. Both teams at even strength here in the fourth, with less than 6 minutes to go.
Using that packed zone with all those bodies in there still.
Quick passing for the Orange men, trying to get somebody loose in front. Centering pass, shot, hit the post. The ground ball scooped up by the Brown Bears. Syracuse inches away from another goal. Ball loose at midfield. Syracuse applying some defensive pressure on the near side. Bowen is there. Knocks the man down. Ground ball scooped up by the Orange men, and Carcaterra. Here he comes over midfield. Syracuse with a chance. Time ticking away here in the fourth. Carcaterra in front, lines up, shoots, save Cattrano. He takes it off the turf. Brown will clear now to midfield.
Open man.
Brown has numbers. Terrific defensive play.
Rule got the ball, or the stick on the ball. Oh!
Casey Powell nearly beheaded. Flags are down all over the place. Here comes Casey Powell. Trying to shake free for a shot. Centering pass. Kavovit, another pass. Jackson who scores! 18-12. Brown with a 6-goal lead, but Dougie Jackson's on the board.
That's going to be a hold. That's going to be wiped out, so there will be no penalty. So they'll be even, and they got to go face it off.
5-hole for Doug Jackson, his first goal of the day, to go along with 2 assists as he put it right between the legs of Cattrano. Time ticking away on the Orange men here in the fourth quarter. 4:41 to go. 18-12. Brown on top. Still enough time for Syracuse to come back, do you think?
You know, you're really pushing it now. It's just 7 goals in 4 minutes and 41 seconds, and they've only gotten 12 so far in the, 56 minutes or 55 minutes and 19 seconds. So they could do it, but they have to do it with alacrity, Ted.
The Orange win their 18th faceoff. If there's a team in college lacrosse that can do it, you got to believe it's Syracuse. The Orange men can't waste any time trying to find somebody open. Coyote passes up the shot. Now it's behind the goal again. Near side, Kavovit, even with the cage. We have a whistle.
Timeout.
And a timeout taken by Syracuse. Good place for it because Kavovit really didn't know what to do with the ball at that point.
He did not look like he knew what kind of play he wanted to run or exactly what was expected. So I think the bench wanted to, give him a timeout and make sure that they they had their signals straight and on the same page.
Another key component, if Syracuse is going to make the comeback and win this game in the Dome today, the Orangemen have to control the faceoffs, which they've done for the most part in the second half. Syracuse trying to move up in the rankings as well as this 1997 season rolls along. Princeton at number 1 this week, Syracuse in at number 2. Then it's Virginia, Duke, and Maryland, 3 ACC teams right in a row. Navy, Hofstra, Johns Hopkins, Georgetown, North Carolina round out the top 10. And the Brown Bears in at number 18 this week. They are in command with 18 goals against the Orangemen in the Dome. It's 18-12. The Bears lead it with 4:12 to go in the fourth quarter of play.
They're going to be moving up if they win this game. They'll take an elevator, I think, from 18 up. So.
And the shots, quarter by quarter. Syracuse has built momentum in the second half, and they've outshot Brown for the game 43-39, while holding Brown to just 15 shots in the second half of play. Casey Powell shoots. Cattrano makes the save.
Well, he's come up big every time they needed him.
Brown on the clear now, less than 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. It does not look good for the Orangemen. Syracuse needs to force a turnover here. Angling in for a shot and a score is Kesmar. 19-12 Brown, and that really hurts the Orange.
Well, you know, up until this point, I had been impressed with Virginia being kind of an aberration. That the Syracuse defense, I thought, since then had played very, very well. You're going to get a look here. This is just tough. It's tough for Gebhard, but those are the ones, those saves, he's made some of those saves. So I would say that the defense took a step back today compared to where I thought they had gotten. So that's, you know, well, that happens. You got to go back to the drawing board. It's trite but true. Let's see what we can do.
Brown with more pressure after winning the face-off. Lyle takes it back outside. The Bears can afford to use some clock here. Down to 3.5 to go in the fourth quarter of play.
Yeah, they want to score. They want guys want to put the ball in the hole again.
They feel like they have this game won. So now they're starting to think offense with time ticking away here in the fourth to try to pad that lead. Dent has it even with the cage. Now he circles behind the net.
Talking about being ranked number 2, they seem to get knocked off every week in that USILA poll.
Ball rolling behind the net. Syracuse there to back it up so the Orangemen will take over. But time is certainly on the side of the Brown Bears with less than 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. The Bears have a commanding 7-goal lead at 19-12. Vanderpool lost it momentarily, gets it back. Has it taken away. Volan is there to scoop it up. Volan feeds Casey Powell. Powell angling in, pushed outside. Now he moves top of the box. Powell has it tapped away from behind. Brown's close defense has been terrific in this game, and the Bears get the ball back again.
That Beatson 41 from Brown is the guy who put the aluminum on him, and that put the ball on the carpet, and Brown comes up with it. Let's see what we got here.
Illegal procedure is the call. Illegal substitution against Brown, so Syracuse has the ball back. The Orangemen get another break.
Yep.
Kavovit triggering the play. Doug Jackson winds, knocked away.
You see that packed-in zone defense once again. They're trying to put it low because they can't see anything high. You got to put it through a chest. Hopefully, if you do it low, you can get something. But now we're going to get a penalty against Brown. 30-second variety.
So Syracuse will have a man-up situation here in the closing moments of the fourth quarter, trailing Brown 19-12 with 2:20 to go in the fourth quarter of play. And earlier this week, some of the Syracuse defenders talked about how they felt allowing 21 goals to Virginia, hoping it wouldn't happen again. Well, Brown has 19. Syracuse 2 of 5 on the man-ups in this game. The Orange working around the box. Carcaterra to Kavovit, now behind the goal again. Ball tapped away, another ground ball goes to Brown. Long pass upfield.
Fast breaks.
Here they come. Finally taken, even with the cage. Now behind the net goes Selig. He's checked by Volan. Hacks him again. Hacks him again. Selig waiting for some help. Comes even with the goal. His pass is wide, rolling toward midfield. Illegal procedure. One of the players at midfield stepped on the line. Who will it be? Now the officials are conversing about what the call ought to be. And Syracuse will get it.
Syracuse is going to get the ball, and one of the things you talk about their offense, Syracuse is used to getting goals and shots in unsettled situations, not against a packed defense. When they run and gun and nobody's been able to sit like this, you look at that Brown defense, that's not the kind of defense that, you know, is really efficient to get good shots at. Now you're going to hit them in the arms, you're going to hit them in the leg, but the ball's not going to go in the hole, and they've been forced to run against that kind of a defense because they just have that run and gun game was not there early, and when it was, they capitalized on it.
Kavovit triggers. Casey Powell has it. His bounce shot.
That's two guys in the goal.
Wow. Cattrano comes away with the ball again as Brown starts to clear. Heading toward a minute to go in the fourth quarter of play. Here come the Bears. Selig shoots and scores. Insult to injury. 20-12.
That's a classic example of, it's kind of a microcosm of the game here. They have had the fast break goals. They have had the unsettled situations where you got the defense back on their heels, not knowing who to pick up, and you're going to get a good look at it here as Selig once again going to take that left-handed shot and it hits the net. Syracuse just not able to get back a number of times. Frood made a living off it there for a while, got 3 goals like that. So it's been tough, and that happens sometimes. Syracuse, I'm sure, wants to work on their defense and work on their fast break. It wasn't there today, but there's always another game.
We have a whistle off the face-off. And Brown will get the ball after a Syracuse push. So the Bears have the ball again as the crowd here at the Carrier Dome starts to file out. Frood has it, left-hand cradle. He wants to work in for a shot. And his cross is tapped from behind. The ball flies out of bounds. It'll be Syracuse ball. Gebhardt sends it long upfield to Coyote, and the Orangemen will lose their second game of the season. Coyote with a right-hand cradle working his way in. Kavovit spins away from the pressure. Heading toward 30 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Coyote back for Carcaterra. He winds. His shot is wide. Now Syracuse comes up with it toward midfield.
Offside, yeah. Defenseman went over the line, and that's going to do it.
So the Orangemen will see their record fall to 4-2, and Brown will improve to 3-3 with back-to-back wins after starting the season 1-3.
You know, well, they'll tell you, and of course, at this time of the year, it's easy to say, but the time to peak, of course, is in May, and there's a long time, and, you know, you've got to get better and improve, and both teams expect to be there, I'm sure. But right now, it's Brown's day and Brown's game.
Jubilation for the Brown Bears, and they mob their goaltender, Greg Cattrano, who did a sensational job of stopping the Orangemen, especially at close range in this game, and a shocker in the Carrier Dome this afternoon as the Orangemen lose to the Brown Bears 20-12. That's our final score. After we take this time out, some final thoughts from the Dome here on Super Sports. Today's game has been brought to you in part by Brine Lacrosse, the power behind the game. And the power behind the Browns' success today. Head coach Peter Lasagna, we talked about in the pregame show, Dale, the importance of Brown controlling the tempo. That's what Peter Lasagna had preached to his team. They executed that mindset perfectly against the Orangemen today.
You're absolutely right, Ted. They ran when they wanted to. They slowed it down when they wanted to, but not to a crawl. And they got great goaltending from Cattrano. And I would pick one thing. He was the guy that came back in the third quarter when Syracuse making a comeback. He shut the door when he had to, and he picked the whole team up. So give them credit. They did a great job against Syracuse.
Where did the Orange men go from here? They had a tough time handling this Brown team, and the close defense was exposed as this game went along. Brown put 20 goals on the scoreboard.
No magic formula, you go back to work. You just keep practicing. Pretty simple. They got Cornell coming up. It's going to be a good test.
So Syracuse falls to Brown in the Dome today. Kind of a surprise, a shocker, as the Bears defeat the Orange men 20-12. Syracuse back in action on Wednesday, April 9th. You'll see that game here on Super Sports as Syracuse takes on the Cornell Big Red. Airtime at 8:30 Wednesday evening, April 9th. So the Orange men go down to defeat the Brown Bears. Thanks for joining us. This has been a presentation of Adelphia Cable.